Keir Starmer's recent public relations attempt has been criticized by the opposition and seems to have backfired as the inquiry gains speed. In today's video, we'll be covering what Starmer has said and why it's causing backlash. On top of that, we'll touch on the latest updates from across the nation. But first, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to join our rapidly growing community. Just yesterday, Keir Starmer faced accusations of staging a PR stunt when the Prime Minister unexpectedly announced that he has returned £6,000 worth of gifts and hospitality perks, including Taylor Swift concert tickets and rented outfits for his wife, all received during his time as Prime Minister. Although this might look good at first glance, it leaves numerous questions unanswered, and it also hints at guilt, implying that Starmer knew he was in the wrong. The Conservative Party has taken notice and issued a statement. Day after day, more revelations emerge about the scandal surrounding Keir Starmer's leadership. This issue has become a major distraction from the important task of governing. It seems Starmer only becomes transparent when he's backed into a corner. Today's announcement raises more questions than it answers. Why did Starmer accept these freebies in the first place? And why haven't senior members like Angela Rayner followed suit by returning donations? While I don't personally back the Conservative Party, they do have a valid point, and this move has left many questions open. If Starmer believes it's right to pay back his gifts, why haven't others done the same? Only yesterday, news surfaced that Rayner had taken an £836 trip to Ibiza. It's clear that Starmer is feeling the heat, but simply repaying £6,000 out of what could be tens of thousands isn't likely to sit well with the British public. What do you think about all of this? Let me know in the comments below. In other news, Labour has earned some praise for decisions they've made since coming to power. Nigel Farage commented on his show that the government had managed to get one thing right, despite facing criticism on many fronts. He was referring to the administration's move to free up space in prisons by releasing criminals. However, it emerged that many of these released individuals have reoffended and ended up back in jail. Farage was particularly critical of the government's approach to this issue, but gave credit where it was due by supporting their plans to decriminalize the non-payment of the BBC license fee. He said, over the last few decades, many women have been imprisoned for not paying the BBC license fee. Labour, though not officially, is reportedly considering decriminalizing non-payment. Ministers like Lisa Nandy and Shabana Mahmood are reportedly in favor of this proposal. The argument is that the £170 annual fee disproportionately impacts women, with official figures showing that 1,000 people are prosecuted weekly for non-payment, with 70% of those being women. Meanwhile, Starmer's government recently released 1,700 prisoners in September, causing celebrations outside jails nationwide. However, many of those released have already reoffended. Farage criticized the early releases, saying they were merely to make room for people posting offensive content on social media. In Scotland, 447 inmates were freed over the summer, and 57 have since reoffended and returned to jail. Farage condemned the situation, saying it was ridiculous to make space in prisons for people just making comments on Facebook. In other headlines, a fraudster who obtained thousands in benefits still managed to secure a job processing universal credit claims. Cheeto Vincent, 57, worked for the Department for Work and Pensions, DWP, last year, despite a 2014 conviction for overstaying his visa and using a forged document to claim benefits. He was dismissed from his role for reasons unrelated to his conviction, and when questioned about how he secured the job, he claimed he didn't need to disclose his past because the conviction was more than 5 years ago. Vincent explained, "During the hiring process, I was completely honest. They asked for all the necessary documents, including my passport and right-to-work papers. I provided everything, and the DBS check came back clear, so I got the job." He added that the DBS stated convictions over 5 years old need not be declared, and because his conviction was 10 years ago, he presumed it wasn't an issue. "Now I have to start from scratch, and it's disappointing," he said. A DWP spokesperson declined to comment on individual staffing matters. In a related case, a woman who claimed she was too unwell to wash herself has been ordered to repay more than £10,000 in benefits after being caught pole dancing. Angela Elizabeth Clay, 45, had claimed £28,000 in benefits, asserting her health issues left her unable to perform simple tasks. However, videos of her pole dancing, doing splits, and hanging upside down circulated on social media, promoting her fitness classes. She was sentenced to 18 weeks in jail, suspended for 12 months, and was given a 10-day rehabilitation requirement. At a Proceeds of Crime Act hearing, the court was told Clay had benefited from £27,000 in taxpayer money but held assets worth just over £3,000, which she was ordered to pay within 3 months. Elsewhere, another benefits cheat, Stuart Gray, 49, from the Isle of Man, confessed to failing to inform the DWP that he was earning extra income from playing music while on benefits. Between May and September 2023, Gray earned thousands from his side job but failed to declare it, resulting in an overpayment of £1,900 by the DWP. The Isle of Man courts heard that Gray had knowingly omitted this information. Another issue that has been making headlines is the problem of benefits fraud. In recent weeks, several high-profile cases have come to light, including the story of Cheeto Vincent, who managed to secure a job with the Department for Work and Pensions, DWP, despite having a prior conviction for benefits fraud. Vincent's case has raised concerns about the DWP's vetting process and whether it is doing enough to prevent individuals with a history of fraud from working in sensitive positions. Vincent, who had previously been convicted for overstaying his visa and using forged documents to claim benefits, defended his actions by stating that he had been transparent during the recruitment process and had not been required to disclose his conviction because it was more than 5 years old. While he may have followed the letter of the law, the fact that someone with a history of benefits fraud was able to work for the DWP has raised eyebrows and led to calls for stricter hiring practices. In a similar case, Angela Elizabeth Clay, who had claimed £28,000 in benefits by asserting that her health issues left her unable to perform basic tasks, was caught pole dancing and advertising her classes online. Clay's story is yet another example of the challenges faced by the DWP in cracking down on benefits fraud. While the majority of people who receive benefits do so legitimately, high-profile cases like Clay's undermine public confidence in the system and fuel perceptions that fraud is rampant. If you haven't already, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more updates on British news. Take care and goodbye.